Dr. Blaylock comes right out on the show, and he, of course, reads the documents and says this is a population reduction program. But I don't expect you to go that far. I know you've already been demonized for simply doing the basic research. Let's briefly, though, talk about their false charges against you and then what's actually in the book, Callous Disregard, and how important it is for people to support you, because I've done separate research, and I know that you've actually been tame in what you've said, and it's because you are so measured and well-researched and effective that they're so scared of you. But, I mean, let's talk about, again, countering their attempted demonization of you, Doctor.
Right. The principal charge against the doctors was that we conducted unethical research without the appropriate approvals on children. We exploited children for the purpose of experimentation. What we actually did was listen to and respond to parents who were concerned about sickness in their very, very, very ill children who had been historically ignored by the medical system. We put together a multidisciplinary team to assess these children, to investigate them and diagnose them clinically. And what they have done in England is to misconstrue that as experimentation. It was not. And the contemporaneous documentation absolutely confirms that these children were being investigated for clinical reasons. You do not need an approval from an ethical committee for clinical investigations.
Well, my dad's a dentist, and he's got patents and things on just treatments for, say, dry socket. And that's how it works, is you say to a patient, do you want to be part of a study? And we're going to pay you this money, and then you do it.
Right, let me be absolutely clear that Alex, no patient was ever paid by anyone for being in the study.
No, I know, but that's not even unethical. Everybody knows that the big pharma companies and everybody pays, but they're saying on the news, they're trying to claim you paid them, so it's unethical to be able to do a test on them, and they're acting like you were Dr. Mingala or something when you did extremely ethical studies. My point is, knowing how medical trials work, you did nothing wrong, and they're misconstruing what you did.
Yes, it seems to me they're deliberately misunderstanding the evidence that is in front of them, and it was an extraordinary decision to have come to. We were all, I have to say, frankly, amazed that they could reach that decision. They either completely misunderstood it, or they had come to a predetermined decision based upon government pressure and media misreporting.
Well, they're desperate. I mean, would you agree that there is a mass awakening to the dangers of vaccines going on right now?
Yeah, I think this is something they find particularly difficult to cope with, that despite everything they've done to me, despite all the public relations that have been attacking me and the parents and other doctors, there was a study recently that showed that 1 in 4 parents in this country thinks vaccines cause autism. In other words, their public relations campaign has failed, because that is without any counter public relations campaign from our side. I haven't been in the media before because I haven't been able to be in the media. I haven't been able to get these facts out there. And 53% of people in that study, 53% of parents, think that vaccines are associated with serious side effects. So they have got a problem, and the problem is one of their own making.
Well, Dr. Wakefield, during the H1N1 situation, all I asked people to do was to read the vaccine insert. It said may cause neurological disorder. It said may reduce fertility. It said may be linked to cancer. So, everybody knows vaccines have, quote, adverse reactions.
Yeah, I think the swine flu really needs to be brought out of the open. Here we were persuaded through a mass public relations campaign of fear and intimidation that there was going to be the worst epidemic of the nastiest flu ever, and we had to get this vaccine. It turned out to be one of the mildest influenza viruses on record. The vaccine seems to have caused far more problems than they're prepared to admit to, and that needs thorough investigation and government oversight to determine what went wrong there and why it went wrong.
By the way, your book is now published just for a week or so, and it's, 23 on the Amazon chart, shooting up charts everywhere else. Give folks the best website. Is it callous-disregard.com? Is that the best site for folks to visit, Doctor?
Well, here's the thing, Alex. Alex. If people go on in the next 24 hours onto Amazon.com and buy it there, it goes to the top of the Amazon bestseller list, and it was published yesterday, in fact. It's now gone up to number 25. So if you want to buy it today, next 24 hours, go to Amazon.com, buy it there. And if you want to buy it after that, then go to callous-disregard.com, and anything that we raise, then a proportion of that will go to autism research.
Absolutely. I want to take some phone calls, but promise now, because you live in Austin, that the next month or two you'll come and be in studio with us.
You've got to keep me away. I'd love to come and see you.
Absolutely. We can't wait to have you here with us. We don't have a lot of time left, this segment and the next, and I want to go to a few calls here for you, Dr. Wakefield. But again, we appreciate your courage. We appreciate you standing up and speaking out through the ridiculous demonization. But to be specific then, you literally did studies in your own office and didn't even pay people to be part of the studies, because I've heard them on the news saying you did, as if that was bad. So just set the record straight. You did nothing wrong except try to save people.
We pursued our professional and moral duty, and we stand by everything we did, yes.
And as you said, other studies are showing similar responses. So, well, that's the thing about the mainstream news articles. They never really say what you did. They just say you're bad somehow and unethical. And I guess it's another political move, just like the British government exonerating Tony Blair lying about WMDs. I guess they're just losing all credibility.
I'm afraid so. I think that this is an extravagant public relations campaign. It's actually a smokescreen to cover up the fact that there is a problem that they are unable to deal with, and therefore it's easier to go after me than it is after solving the problem.
But what are they going to do as more parents go take the polio shot and their kid dies of polio, which is in CBS News, or they get a Gardasil shot and their daughter convulses and is paralyzed the neck down for the rest of her life, or the 18-month-old's giggling, laughing, somebody's listening right now, they're not going to listen, they don't believe us. The child has the shots, they have a convulsion, the police take the parents to jail. I mean, the reason they're going to lose this PR operation is because as their carnage continues, people are going to wake up and remember that we warned them.
Yes, people are most definitely waking up to the fact, because respectable, mainstream, professional, entirely intelligent people are now realizing for themselves that this is affecting their families. If autism doesn't affect you now, then it certainly will in the future, because the numbers are going up so quickly. So people are coming to the realization in the saddest, most tragic possible way, and that is a personal experience of the problem. And it's just too big now to brush under the carpet.
What do you want to say to those out there that have persecuted you and lied about you? Because no doubt, Doctor, they're going to end up seeing and hearing this interview. What would you like to say to them?
Well, it's a futile effort, because I'm not going away, the parents aren't going away, the children aren't going away, the work will be done, truth will come out. So you're not going to change the history of this one bit. We will get to the bottom of it, whether it exonerates the vaccines or whether it implicates them. My job as a scientist is to pursue this to its natural conclusion, so that is what I intend to do.
We're going to go to break and come back and take a few calls for the doctor, but before we do that, Jenny McCarthy, I've heard vicious talk show hosts nationally on TV and radio claim that she's just wanting publicity. No, she has a child who was damaged that she lives with every day. And to just show how callous they are to attack a mother who has a sick child, clearly from the vaccines, and to claim that she's doing this for her own publicity, these people are just heartless. I mean, have they spent time with the children that have been wrecked by this?
Yeah, and because they're unable to deal with the facts of the matter, then they go after the person, and they have no compunction about how they go after the people. They're ruthless, and they are solely interested in protecting their own territory, and that is a great, great shame.
Well, you're going to be speaking tomorrow at an important event, and we'll cover that when we come back on the other side. We'll tell folks how to be there. But bottom line, when you talk to Jenny McCarthy, what is her resolve like under the attack she's been under?
Oh, I think she's absolutely determined. For mothers like Jenny, a small part of them, a big part of them, in fact, has been damaged and destroyed. And mothers will never quit. They will never, ever, ever give up. And they are an inspiration to doctors like me to continue the work.
Yeah, they've made a lot of mothers mad, a lot of fathers mad, and they're going to be brought to justice. Their whole eugenics program. These people are going to hang high. Doctors, stay there.